All right, welcome on in everyone to this episode of First CSP, a channel dedicated to bringing you the first council shorter patch issue from each council in Scouting America, both past and present. Today we're going to take a look at Santa Fe Trail 194 out of Kansas. This council was originally chartered in 1946. If we look at the older collecting guides, the first issue was divided into three variations, the T1A, B, and C. In the more recent collecting guides, they have merged together the old A and B to all be considered T1As, and the old T1C is now listed as a T1B. We have the three variants that were previously separated out into T1A, B, and C, and we have retained those notations on our markings on the back. I'll take you through those on the patch table now. So here we have what was the T1A with its red border, light blue sky, red letters, bright light brown ground. Now the only distinction between the T1A and T1B in the older collecting guides was essentially the thickness of the letters. So they considered these to be slightly thinner, and that was the T1A. And then the next one that came out had slightly thicker letters. They called that the T1B. There is a distinct difference in the color of the sky, but that was never referenced. So we believe that the old T1A had a slightly darker twill that was used for the sky, and we get a slightly brighter. Both are just listed as light blue. If you see these in person next to one another, this lettering does look a bit thicker. It's a little more raised as well. So we believe that this is what they were calling the T1B. When we look at the back, both of these are cloth and gauze backed on the twill portions. We get a bit more loose of a twill gauze on the T1A. We get a slightly tighter gauze on the T1B. This one also appears to have, some kind of coating. It's not a plastic bag, but we do find that that's one of those that seems to have a little bit of a coating, kind of a transition between going from all cloth back to plastic back, I suppose. If there's a production term for that you know, by all means, let me know in the comments below. But so we believe this to be the T1A and T1B, and then we get a very distinctly different T1C. This is with the dark olive ground. In the more recent collecting guides, this is now what's listed as a T1B. So these are both T1As in a newer collecting guide, and this would be a T1B, but it was the old T1C with a clear plastic back. So I'll put that on there. The T1s are distinct from subsequent CSP issues out of Santa Fe because they did not have the fleur-de-lis. So if there's no fleur-de-lis in the ground on your CSP from Santa Fe, then you are looking at least a T1, and then it's just identifying which variant it might be listed with under. So we've got the lighter ground on the T1, early T1s, and we've got this dark olive on the later, which was a T1C, now is a T1B. All of that can sometimes get confusing. To show you the distinction, so there's one of the early T1s. The T2s then added a fleur-de-lis in the foreground. The T2s are also divided into two variants, T2A and T2B. The T2A still stays with the light brown ground, and the T2B is listed as a gold. We believe this is the gold, hence we do have it labeled as a T2B. I left up this T1 because this would be the light brown. This is the gold. You can kind of see the distinction. If you had a similar color ground with a fleur-de-lis, that would be a T2A. So there you have it. The first few issues for Santa Fe Trail out of Kansas. Hope you guys have enjoyed this episode of First CSP. We'll be back again tomorrow with another brand new episode. Until then, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.